Welcome to the show. Now please strap in for the truth and remember the words of the great Tom Cruise.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Now welcome to Off Topic on Point.
All right, well, good evening from where we are, but wherever this may find you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From Off Topic on Point, as always, I'm your host, one of your hosts, Rob Looper, joined by my other co-host, Russell Cruzan. And tonight we have two very special guests with us. We have Joel Looper.
Hi.
And Aaron Looper.
Hello.
I think special's a bit of a stretch.
You know, I noticed that they seem to have a similar name to somebody that's on this.
Yes.
They
Oh,
do.
wow.
My sons. And they actually, we'll get into this, probably we'll let them talk about it a little bit later, but they have their own podcast, so they are joining us. It's kind of a
It's a
crossover,
crossover.
if you will.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
like DC, but better.
That one-time Marvel and DC cross.
Crisis on Earth X, more like Crisis at this church.
Oh, yeah.
So we are going to, we are glad to have them joining us. They're going to give us the youth perspective on some things tonight, or their perspective anyway. Maybe not the youth, but their perspective.
Well, I'm a very youthful person.
A youthful perspective.
I'm pretty
How about
old.
that?
He's
I'm
old.
pretty
He's
old.
18. He's old.
I'm 18, so I'm pretty useful.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm
So-
youthful, not useful.
I'm useful, he's youthful.
Exactly.
That's right. So there we go. So it's
Exactly.
good to have you guys with us. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having us.
And we are, again, Russell, we're in the same place, so it's nice to be in the same place filming on the stage of our church. So we're thankful to the church for letting us do that. So it's fun to be up here, kind of a round, well, it's a square, two square tables, don't make a round, but at least it's a panel table,
Hey,
right?
it's nice. I like it.
So that'll be fun.
I like this, though.
We're going to have a V-table
We're
discussion.
going to have a V-table discussion tonight,
Oh,
if you will.
geez.
Oh, yeah.
So
I like
we
it.
told the people that we were going to discuss the Star Wars and the Star Trek worlds.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
See
yay.
how those interact and opinions on those things. So,
Question.
Yeah,
So the topic is Star Trek versus Star Wars.
sure.
Are we going to stay on topic?
I doubt it.
No.
We will be on point, though.
I won't.
We will
We
be on
will be on point.
So we can spill over into other sci-fi.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Or we might even go, because we all went and saw Superman the other night. We might even review that before
Right.
we're.
Is that sci-fi?
Well, it's not. Well, I don't know that
It's not real.
it's not real,
So it's fiction.
Yes.
and I don't know how much science is behind it.
I mean-
there is spaceships though, because
That's
Superman
true.
did come to Earth on a spaceship. So there's
What's
spaceships.
all
Okay.
that gadgetry that Mr. Terrific had?
That is.
And Lex Luthor created a pocket universe.
That's true. So that's very sciencey.
Plus the whole
Oh, hey,
idea
by the
that
way, spoilers if you haven't seen
Oh
it.
yeah, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie. This is going to
the
be a
main
big
character,
spoiler.
everybody knows this, the main character, hello, is extraterrestrial.
That's right.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Area 51.
So we may end up even reviewing that, but for right
I
now,
will.
we'll go with what we promised everyone.
Yeah.
Star Trek and Star Wars.
Hopefully that wasn't a spoiler alert on my part.
If you
Probably
haven't
was.
seen Superman,
Go watch it. It's a great movie.
It's okay. It's
we're
pretty good.
split on all that, by the way.
It was a great movie.
It was not.
It was okay.
Okay, but the fact that
We need to have like a pizza rating and figure out how many pieces are in the pie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because I'm going to say this right now, if there are 8 pieces in the pie, I think I'm giving it like a 4.5.
Really?
Four and a half.
I give-
I'd have thought you'd have given it 3.
I give the whole movie 8 slices out of 8.
Aaron, you are very forgiving.
He likes Kenobi, of course he is.
Okay. You don't
Number 1 taken.
you don't want to go there, but no, because I think the main thing I liked was the fact that Beast from X-Men played Lex Luthor.
That's not.
Worst bald cap I've ever seen.
Okay, that's true. But that's like one of the things I loved so much about it.
You
That's
just like him because people say
not
you
a
look like
reason
him.
to like. Okay.
That's true.
Well, no, because I have not given my score yet.
No,
Whoa.
no, I'm simply moving on from Aaron to go ahead.
Oh, got it. Got it.
No, but
Okay.
it's hurt.
No, we're moving on to Russell. What was
I'm
your
going to
score?
say about a 6.5.
Okay, so we've got Joel. What was your score?
What'd you say yours was?
pizza
Mine was
score?
4.5.
Mine's like 5. Maybe.
Okay, so 4.5.
5 to 6.
6.
6.5.
8.
So we actually average out at about 6. So we give it a 6 out
Hold
of
up,
8.
let me pull up the
Six
calculator.
pizza slices out of 8.
Six
Hold up.
pizza slices out
We
of
can
8.
talk about the wheres and whys and all later.
What'd you
If
say,
we-
6.5?
If we get around to it.
What'd you say, 6.5?
I said 4.5.
Sorry.
4.5, 6, 8.
4.5 plus 6.
Oh, you're gonna.
He's averaging
Joel's
it.
actually doing the math.
He doesn't want to stay in the realm of mathematical science fiction.
Yeah, actually, he's not wrong.
Yeah,
5.8.
we have an average of 5.875.
So that averages out to 5.8.
Not
So
bad.
that
So
sixth
we'll
person's
round
not
off
getting.
to
Yeah, we round up to
Yeah,
6.
6.
That sixth person's
job,
not getting the
Dan.
full piece.
Yay!
Oh wow, the math whiz got it.
This is how it happens at our house all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's generally more like.
Spiffy shirts, huh?
Oh, my
yeah.
gosh, yes. I love them so much.
This will actually play into the title probably
It
of
will.
that you see, which will probably be "Live Long and May the Force be with you." So
Yes.
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 But don't prosper, apparently.
that's right. Or "May the Force prosper you." I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
It's
We'll talk about it on the way home. How about that?
I bet.
So we'll come up with a spiffy title. So anyway, so Russell, start us off with Star Trek.
Well,
'Cause you are a Star Trek aficionado, and let's preface it with you like the original series.
Yeah, I mean that, and if we call me an aficionado, which may be a stretch, but that I'm more of an aficionado on that than any of the rest of the Star Trek series in the Star Trek universe. And I will mention that I am somewhat of a Star Trek purist, so all of the stuff that has come out in the last, I don't even know how long because I don't watch it, but the fake stuff that's out now,
about
let's just
Picard?
put it that way so that you have a clarity on my position on it. I don't watch any of it.
You don't
So-
watch Picard?
Picard is Next Generation original Star Trek series universe.
Right.
Okay, and then so was Deep Space Nine, and so was Voyager.
Voyager, yeah.
And so were the original movies. Okay, as bad as the first one was, they were all a part of that. Okay, so now they made for some allowances that I didn't necessarily care for, but they didn't disrupt the continuity of the universe.
Yeah.
This new garbage that's out, and I say that very affectionately because I could use much worse terminology. I don't care how well it is made cinematically. I don't care about the effects and all that. I don't even care if it has some good actors and acting, which I think it does. It has committed a violation, in my mind, completely changing up the universe. So I don't even want to go there. Everybody knows what, y'all can go there if you want to. I have no use for the new stuff. However, the original series, yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have any of the stuff, whether it is from the original Star Trek universe or the existing perversions, if we didn't have the original series to begin with, and Gene Roddenberry and his work from the
I
1960s.
agree. Yeah.
And so now there is this question of Star Trek versus Star Wars, which I think is moronic. You're going to get my straight opinion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No,
I think that is
go
a
ahead. Yeah.
moronic and a very foolish comparison. You would not have Star Wars if you did not first have Star Trek. That's just the truth of it.
Yeah.
Star Trek brought science fiction, TV, and movies into their own.
Interesting.
And so and since I am a fan of both, I don't see any antithesis. I see no reason to choose between the two. Any more than I would choose between Gunsmoke and Bonanza. I like both Westerns.
Yeah, I do too, by the way. They're very, I've watched them both, and I like them both.
I've only seen some of both of them.
So,
You don't get to talk on
I don't
that
like you.
one.
I mean, do you like both of your sons?
I do.
No.
Very
I'm better.
much. Love them both equally.
I mean, because I agree, like, whether it's lightsaber or phaser, whatever it is they have in Star Trek, they're both cool for their own reasons.
Yeah.
Like I think the ships in Star Trek are a lot cooler.
What?
You know? Yeah.
Why did the Klingon ships have to look better than the Federation ships is what I've always wondered.
Question.
By the way, the Klingon ship's raw.
This is all
Yeah,
going over
all
my
the
head.
villains have much better looking ships.
Well, but that isn't.
The villains always have better looking than the heroes,
Have you
honestly.
ever noticed that though? The villain stuff. I would rather have the villain stuff
Yeah.
than the hero stuff.
Well, it's 'cause-
it's always better.
It's because
I
they have a
know.
bigger budget. Like, the hero never has a good budget unless it's like the Avengers and you have Tony Stark on your side.
Okay, so you've got the original series. Now there's phaser number 1, which is the little one that you hold like a bar of soap.
Right.
That would
And
be
then
my
if you
favorite.
want more power, you insert it into the pistol, which creates phaser number 2.
Interesting.
And it's more powerful. The stun setting and the kill setting, all it's more powerful. if you can kill with a bar of soap, I don't know why you need more power,
Right.
but maybe
fair
it did some stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Now, that was a pretty cool looking weapon. However, when you compare it to the Klingon Disruptor, it looked pretty
Okay,
generic.
now I need to look up pictures of these.
Yeah, look it up. We'll see
Oh,
what I'm
you'll
talking
see.
about.
Look it up.
it's phenomenal.
Okay.
Well, even the ships. I mean, you have the Klingon,
Even the Romulan, the bird of prey ship.
the bird of prey. And you know what I never could understand either is how is it that the Federation never really never got the cloaking technology? Only the Klingons. And
Oh,
the
they did.
Romulans. They did, but it was so far.
No, they got it. They stole it, actually.
Oh, it is a bar of soap.
There's an episode called The Enterprise Incident.
Okay.
Where Kirk and Spock were a part of a clandestine plan. They were sent on a mission by the Federation. Even
Oh my
their
gosh, it is
officers,
a
the
bar
senior
of soap.
officers
That's
on their
wild.
ship,
Okay,
on the
hold on.
Enterprise, did not know about it. They took the ship against treaty into the Romulan neutral zone.
Okay.
And of course, 3 Romulan birds of prey show up.
All right.
The whole point was to fool the ship's captain of
Yeah, no,
the
that is much
Romulan
cooler.
ship,
Yeah.
which was a woman, to get Spock onto the ship to make it look like Kirk was involved in espionage, and that Spock, because the Vulcans and the Romulans are actually the same people,
Right.
to make it look like Spock was going to side with the Romulans, and actually even mimicked a relationship with the captain. Meanwhile, Kirk is being spun as this bad guy. And there was this whole elaborate plan. I won't go into all of it because it'll take me too long to explain. But at the end of the episode, what ended up happening was Kirk stole, with Spock's help, the cloaking device off of the mothership. They installed it in the Enterprise, and before those 3 birds of prey could destroy the Enterprise, they cloaked the ship and got out of there.
Ooh.
And so the Federation got the cloaking
Federation did
technology
finally get it,
in
okay.
the original series. They just didn't use it very much, only when they felt like they needed to. Now, why didn't they? I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, and that shows I'm not as familiar with the original.
Yeah, you have to. It's kind of like, you know how they say, like, well, I'll use the Bible as an example. You can't really understand the New Testament unless you first learn the Old
Right,
Testament.
yeah.
Same thing with Star Trek. Forgive me using that as an analogy. But if you aren't familiar with first principles as they were revealed in the original series, then there's so much that you won't get from some of the, I mean, you can extrapolate a little bit.
Sure.
But there's so much you won't get as far as the Star Trek universe is concerned when it comes to the other series and to the movies.
Sure.
For example, did y'all ever see the movie The Wrath of Khan?
No.
I saw the one with Benedict Cumberbatch. That one.
Okay, I need to stop you right there. No, you have not seen the.
Not the original. I'm talking about like the rebooted one. I've seen the
Okay, that's
rebooted
what-
one.
Okay, that's what he is affectionately referring to as garbage. is the
Oh.
reboots.
Oh, that one. Oh.
No, those are not. Yeah.
I mean,
Those aren't real.
Oh, I liked that. I thought they were
Those are
good.
the devil's sheep imitation.
Okay, you know what's funny? That's the only one I've actually seen.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
those
the
are.
Benedict Cumberbatch one because it has Benedict Cumberbatch.
Because you're a part of the generation that came, there rose up a generation that knew not Pharaoh.
I just wanted to see Benedict Cumberbatch. I was like, ooh.
Is like Star Trek Next
Actually,
Gen-
I said that wrong. There rose up a generation that knew not Joseph. See? And so then, yeah. Anyway.
Well, the only reason they watched it is because it had Benedict Cumberbatch, who played Doctor Strange from the
Yeah.
Avengers. That's
Yeah.
why they
Well,
That's the only reason I saw
is
Someone who's named after a U.S. trader, I wouldn't even
Yeah.
want to watch them anyway.
but is Star Trek Next Generation what we're referring to as garbage?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay, so there's Star Trek, the original series. Star Trek, the Next Generation was the next series that booted up from, and it was, when did it come out, in the 80s?
I think, well, if not, it was not in the early 90s, I
Yeah,
think.
somewhere in there. So it was it was like 20, 25 years later. That's when the Next Generation came. At close to the same time, they also had Voyager come out. Voyager is basically the story of a ship that got lost in the Delta Quadrant instead of everybody's in the Alpha Quadrant. They got sent to the Delta Quadrant, and this is, by the way, the home of the Borg, and that's where the Borg first got encountered. And then there was Deep Space Nine, which is a space station called Deep Space Nine, and that's what it's that's another storyline. So there are several spin-off series, and then there's the movies.
Okay.
And so the movies that they have William Shatner, they have anybody from the original series that's in those movies. That will earmark those as, I think I think Leonard Nimoy actually may have made one crossover. I think he may have done a crossover appearance in one of the other.
In the first Chris Pine movie.
Yeah, that's it.
Chris Pine, I couldn't
That's
think of
the
his
guy.
name.
That's
the Star
one
Trek
I've actually seen.
Yeah, because basically the guy who plays Spock, the new Spock,
And that's where they destroyed
meets the old
Vulcan.
Spock. Yeah, they destroyed
And
Vulcan.
they destroyed Vulcan, and that's when I said, I'm not watching any more of these because that never happened in the original universe. That's
they did
ridiculous.
not. They did not destroy Vulcan.
No.
So, and then they have a new Vulcan, and it's all.
Give me a break.
Well, and basically they've kind of the way the timeline went in the new one. Kirk and Spock almost switch places in the sense of
Oh, well, that makes
Spock
perfect
becomes
sense.
captain, and it's like not really, and then Kirk has turned. It's a whole deal.
But I got to tell you, if you guys have never seen the original series, you owe it to yourselves to watch the original series.
It's really
Just
good.
Spend some time. There's only 3 seasons, and I'm going to say the first couple of episodes are a little wonky, but you would expect that for fresh episodes from a fresh series on science fiction in the 60s. I mean, the thing that rivaled Star Trek in the science fiction world on television at that time, there was Star Trek, and there was Lost in Space. Have you seen Lost in Space?
Yeah.
I haven't
I've
even
not seen
heard of Lost in Space.
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
And
Lost in Space
wasn't bad,
was
but
not bad, it
it
was
did
good.
not. If you look at Lost in Space and you look at the effects, you'll see how much better of a job Gene Roddenberry and company did on the Star Trek series of the day. For its day, it was really quite a fantastic series, including its special effects. Even though today the special effects look funny to us, back then they looked very good compared to everything else that was out there. You know, you had there were other earlier science fiction movies, but I'm trying to think of some of them, like The Day the Earth Stood Still and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those are just really the effects are horrible.
There are still some effects that are horrible today. Ask Dad about CGI snow.
Oh yeah. No, I will say though, in the,
So-
in I lost.
That's right.
That always
But no, I
happens.
think what I do find interesting in the differences, and again, I'm a both guy, just like you. I'm
Both
fine
and?
with Star Wars. I'm both and. Is just the difference in the kind of storylines and what they do. So you have Star Trek that follows kind of an exploration. And it's not as, I don't want to say it's warlike, but it's not quite.
No, the whole point of
His exploration is
it's
space, the final frontier. Let's go. Let's explore. And then you have Star Wars, and it is basically good versus evil, and it is really kind of and it really is interesting how in Star Wars to me they blend this old West kind of way back in the day.
And future. I've always thought
laser sword.
Okay, no, but I have always thought that I've always is it way in the past or is it way in the future?
Yeah, because
Yes.
of some of the things that they've done, and some of the things it's like, well, we can't really do that. Well, you have a laser sword. You have
Yep.
you have laser guns.
You have a
Yeah.
nuke.
ships that are going light speed, but we can't do this. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
you can't make a phone call, but you have your
can't make a phone call,
holograms.
You can't signal ahead, but
You got phone calls, or you got holograms.
Phone calls. What do you
We have
mean?
we have a laser gun, and we're
Yeah.
going to go light speed. But
They do have phone calls.
let's
What
not
are you
make a
talking
phone
about?
call, you know what I'm
What are you
saying?
talking about? They
Have a
make phone calls. What are you talking about? They make phone
What do
calls.
you mean?
Do you not remember in Star Wars 1 when Qui-Gon's over here with his little transmitter talking to Obi-Wan? on
Okay,
the
no,
ship?
that's
Wait, time out.
No.
Because I want to stop.
but
you.
that's not interplanetary.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about interplanetary phone calls.
Yeah. They're
No,
not
they're
like
transmissions.
they don't have Verizon and all the different.
No, you got
Yeah,
like
no, they don't got
transmissions and stuff. What are you talking
T-Mobile.
about?
But no. Okay, let's not talk about the first 3 ever.
No. Okay, no, because no.
We had the first when we had the originals, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. They didn't have the ability to make those phone
Okay,
calls.
then you should have
but-
specified.
But then it started to come in. All the different technologies and all that other stuff started when as they did episodes 1, 2, and 3.
But here's the thing. Without episodes 1 through 3, it's still confusing to just watch 4, 5, and 6
I mean,
and be
not
like, wait,
really.
who's Darth Vader?
Not
I
really,
was
Dad.
never confused.
If
No,
I
Dad-
watched 4, 5, and 6 and there was no 1 through 3, I'd be like, what's happening?
Dad started
Okay.
me off on 4.
in 1977 when the
Whoa.
first episode came out, where the first movie came out.
Which was
Star
4.
Wars.
Star Wars. It was called Star Wars. Wasn't called anything else. It was called
Okay.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. I was one of the crazy people who lined up to go see it with thousands of other people who were lined up at the theaters to go see it because it was a phenomenon. I remember it very well. Nobody was talking about anything else but Star Wars. There was no plans, at least there were no stated plans for an Empire Strikes Back or for any other movie. There was certainly no discussion about a trilogy of prequels and sequels. That was stuff that began to, and I'm not saying that George Lucas and company didn't have that possibly in the possibility framework of their universe, but no, there was the only thing anyone was talking about for years was that movie. In fact, I remember when I first heard about it, I used to subscribe to Starlog magazine, and Starlog magazine, I think 6 months or a year prior to it being released, started talking about, hey, there's this movie coming, this sci-fi people are really going to like probably, especially if you like pirate movies and stuff like that, because it's like a swashbuckling space adventure. And they were talking, and it was just a little blurb in Starlog magazine. That was the first exposure I had to it. And I read that, I said, this sounds like a movie I would really like to go see, because I like pirate movies too.
Oh yeah, I love those.
And so I said, this is going to be fantastic, and it was. It was absolutely a phenomenon. So, if you have the perspective I do, and I realize everybody here can't, but if you have the perspective I do, a lot of this stuff was just added to make money, and I get that. In fact, the first movie was to make money, right? So we can make that argument.
Capitalism.
But it's not, yeah, but it's, I don't think that my opinion, I don't think it's accurate to say that you can watch what we call episode 4 now, that you can watch that as a standalone and it not make sense. It was designed to make sense by itself. And it made perfect sense to me and everybody I knew at the time. Yeah, we knew what happened. We knew what was going on at the beginning of the movie, we knew what was going on throughout the movie, and we knew what happened at the end and why it happened. It was complete.
That's fair.
The circle was now complete.
I will say though, I do still think that movies 1 through 3 do at least still give some decent backstory for all of it, and bring the best lightsaber fights of all.
But let me
time.
tell you, when the first episode 4, which is episode 1,
Yes.
came out, nobody thought Darth Vader was anybody's dad.
Yeah.
That was something that was contrived later.
Yeah.
And there was all this discussion about how they were going to work around the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi had said that Darth Vader betrayed and murdered your father.
Well, I think that does, to a certain extent, at least in my head, make sense. Because, like, when Palpatine took him and turned him to the dark side, when he became Darth Vader, he did, in a way, kill the old Anakin Skywalker that was a good Jedi.
Yeah, but that was after. See, so you were raised with that concept.
Yeah.
It sounded like a big, fat, hairy, deceptive lie to all of us.
I do
Because you don't say he betrayed and murdered your father.
But he is
What
your
really
father.
happened was your dad is this dude.
Yeah.
You just shot at.
Your dad is a
You
big
might
cyborg.
describe it in other ways, but you don't say, your dad died. And, that
He's
was
actually alive.
Your
that
dad's
was the
old
best
self
thing.
died.
In other words, this is them rescuing themselves from their own situation they created. Like I said, they had never intended these other things to happen. So now they're in a situation where they're saying, well, people want more, we're going to make more. What do we do with this? How do we plot twist this to where it's really interesting? And so they plot twist it to make Darth Vader his dad, but that wasn't the original story. If you watch that episode or that particular movie by itself, I guess it's proper to call it an episode. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Then it just filter everything else out of your mind. I think you will see what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, I actually have the disc with the original Star Wars episode as the original Star Wars. So maybe sometime we can watch that.
I will give a bit of a hot take.
Yeah.
You've heard me say this. I'm not big on episode 4. I find it very hard to watch. Like 5 and 6 are really good, but I find 4 very hard to watch.
It's because of your ADHD. You get bored.
There's not enough going on. It's a slow-paced movie.
I can't agree with that, but
I know,
but you're allowed an opinion. I
know.
guess.
Even if it's wrong. Even
All right,
if it's
so
wrong.
here's what we're gonna say to everybody watching. Please go ahead and comment. You can hammer
You can
down
flame
on
me
your
in the
disagreement on
comments.
that.
Yeah, play Aaron in the
You
comments.
don't. Okay. Remember what I said earlier about Star Trek?
Yes.
You don't have the rest, including the funky versions that y'all have been watching. You don't have any of that unless you have the original.
That's true, though.
You don't have the episodes that you're praising without episode 4.
Listen,
Yeah.
man, my
That's
dad
true.
started me with episode 4, okay?
Well, that was
When I
almost-
was 10. I saw Star Wars
That's
4.
right.
So so the original series is Star Trek.
Yes.
Episode 4, aka the real
Episode
episode,
The
one.
real episode 1.
is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Everything else had to be defined
That's
from that.
true.
From that,
seed, you know.
yeah. So
Yeah.
without that, you have nothing.
But
So-
but what I do love the fact that they did more because now you have like, not only do you have some good movies, you have great TV shows. Like The Mandalorian, Don't Hurt Me, Kenobi,
No,
great show, amazing show, Rebels, Clone Wars. Yes, Kenobi was good.
Clone Wars was good. Kenobi wasn't.
Okay, now I'm going to say this. I think that, and I think you will back me up on this. I really think that once Lucas gave it up
To Disney.
and Disney took over, it has just really, really.
Okay.
The quality, the storytelling,
Dude,
the canon part of what is truly Star Wars has just really gone down.
no, because, dude, Kenobi was amazing. Like, it was such a good show.
Bro, Kenobi done lost to Vader. Vader barely swung his lightsaber.
Creative liberties,
They
my
don't
guy.
get that with
Okay,
Star Wars.
you don't get creative liberties with Star Wars.
Yes,
Stay
you
with Star
do.
Wars. Again, and, you know, it's.
If you're gonna hate on something Star Wars, hate on the sequels.
I already do.
We already kind of don't like the sequels.
Okay, movie 8 was good though. That was the only good sequel.
But back to our discussion on between Star Trek and Star Wars. One of the things I do find interesting is, again, like you could talk about the difference in technology, the difference in weaponry, the difference. You know, again, Star Trek to me is more human. It's got a more humanizing feel. Like it's these people. They don't have special powers.
Right.
They don't. It's explorers, and you know what? The red shirt people are gonna die.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose people.
Don't be
you know?
down on the red shirt. That's the adage. Yeah.
And people are now going to come and they're going to say, well, people in Star Wars died, and that's true. A lot of people died, planets died, but it was a more technology would seem. You know, it was a pirate show. To your point, like they said, there's going to be this swashbuckling.
Star Wars was.
Star Wars was a swashbuckling kind of a pirate thing. You had the laser swords. You had the big blasters. You had the Imperial troops, who, by the way, could not hit you if they were standing next to you.
Okay, but, Obi-Wan says different in episode 4. No, but the problem is Obi-Wan says different in episode 4. He's like, only stormtroopers are so precise.
And then they hit nothing.
Exactly.
So
Which shows you how bad it really could have gotten if you weren't a stormtrooper.
That's true.
So I think that's the thing about that to me is it's a whole. Each of those is a different feel. They never were meant to compete with each other. They're telling a story. They're each telling different stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
And
both
you
good.
can love them both.
So it's the apples and oranges
It's
thing.
an apples and oranges comparison, and I think that's the thing for me is you can love them both equally for what they actually were meant to be.
That's what I do.
Yeah, and that's what I do. I like them both. I watch them both, love them both equally. I'm not as versed in the original as you are, but I do whenever I get a chance. I love watching them. I enjoy them. I love Star Trek: The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. Like if it ever comes onto Netflix or Prime, I will binge watch those seasons.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I really will enjoy them.
I have done that myself with Voyager, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, no, it's great to get back through that. So
I will say, Deep Space Nine. My friends and I used to call it Deep Sleep Nine.
yeah,
All of them, that was the one I found the hardest to watch. Although, as I've gotten older, I find that I actually
when I was
enjoy it more than I used to.
When I was a younger kid, it was like, okay. But as I got older, I myself find myself.
That's kind of like
The problem is not that it was poorly done. It was well done. It's that when you're comparing it to Voyager and the Next Generation and even the original series, man, there's a ship and it's going here and it's going there and they're meeting aliens and they're encountering plot complications and then they're resolving those and they're moving on and everything's. and it's a move. It's the movement of
There's
the
the
other
movement
ones.
of, yeah.
That, and then you got this space station, and there you are, and you're
Yeah.
with it, and it's there, and you're just there. You're there this week, and next week, and the following week. And
Right.
That's why they started, I think, introducing some of these, the particular kinds of villains that they did.
Right, and
then they had
yeah.
I forget the name of the ship, the small ship that was
That would, oh yeah, the runabout
The-
ship, yeah, that would go out and it would go through the wormhole and it would
Defiant
come
or
back. The
something.
Defiant, that's what it was. Yeah, the Defiant would go in and come out. But they
Yeah.
also had, it was almost like not crews, but syndicates that
Yeah.
they would have to fight.
Yes.
So I think that's why they did that kind of thing.
yeah,
Well,
Go
you
ahead,
said
Jim.
what you
shape shifting.
Yes.
I didn't know if he was done or not.
Go ahead.
Okay. What you said about Deep Space Nine reminds me of what some people have said about the Acolyte for Star Wars.
What's that?
Please,
It's
no.
really, really, really slow and really boring to start.
Okay, there's.
The fight scenes can be fun, but then you've got like interesting materials where like one of the main characters goes to smack the villain in the face with his lightsaber and it just bounces off his helmet.
Yeah.
It's like Beskar, but it's not.
There was one good fight in that show. Other than that, the show sucks.
But it's like apparently it's really slow, like at the beginning, but then like the last 2 episodes or something are supposed to be good.
It picked up.
Yeah, the last 2 episodes.
Well, I will say though, with Star Wars, what I don't like is how they're doing these 8-episode shows and then just stopping.
Well, that's
they did that with Kenobi.
I will say this. That's where the Star Trek universe, I think,
Yeah.
has them beat a little bit. It was more well thought out. Gene Roddenberry, because he had all the books, they had all the material,
Right.
and I think that's where a lot of times, too. Also, I think also, Disney never got a hold of Star Trek, so there was no agenda. It was a TV show.
And by the way,
Oh,
I
yeah.
would make the argument that if Walt Disney had not died and had actually inherited this while he was alive and still in control of things, I think there would be a very different reality.
I think you're right.
Star Wars?
That came after Disney himself that really just, well, I won't go off on a tear here, but they ruined the Disney world.
Yes, I would agree with
So
that.
this was just a part of that ruining of the Disney. Whatever Disney touches, it just can't help it. It has to do some
Yeah.
pathetically
Yeah, absolutely.
wrong. I'm going to
Oh,
start
yeah.
expressing my opinion here. I better be careful. But it's
Stay on
but
point.
it's
It'll be fine.
Yeah, there you go.
We're off topic, but it's okay to be on point.
They just can't help it. They've got to mar it some way.
Yeah, they do.
By the way, that on Deep Space Nine, the people, the race of people, the aliens are called the Dominion.
Yes, the Dominion. Thank you.
It hit me just a
Yes,
moment
the
ago.
Dominion, and that was that. It was almost like a group that they had to fight, that they were trying to stop, and so, yeah, and it was, yeah.
And they had all kinds of, they began to really get creative with their plot complications. Like I remember one episode where they managed to disable the entire Federation fleet in the region and the entire fleet of every other race except the Klingons. The Klingons, for some reason, their ships were not disableable
Right.
by their technology. And so things like that, you know, how do you re-strategize when now you've got one fleet versus multiple fleets?
Right, and it's the Klingons, by the
Yeah,
way, who are not really good at
Although-
working with others.
Although they had gotten better at working with the Federation,
Yeah.
but then you had like the Cardassians that were really not
Yeah.
trustworthy. And
The Kardashians?
What?
I used to make that joke too.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
That's
Cardassians
wild.
versus the Kardashians. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
it's-
well, here's the thing. They had fast ships, but you could still keep up with them.
yeah.
No, but because we were just talking about Klingons, we Googled the Klingon blasters, and then we also Googled the phasers.
Oh yeah.
Why do the bad guys get like the really cool stuff? Because like
Yeah, you're not
their
wrong.
blaster
It's
guns.
a bar of soap of death.
Yeah, but like that Klingon gun was really cool.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
That was awesome.
Klingon disruptors.
It was
The-
so
oh,
cool.
Yeah, the disruptors. Yeah, it was awesome.
So the original series of Star Trek. I know we're bouncing around here.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to
But
bounce
there were
around
just to kind of give you something to shoot for. Three seasons. As the seasons progress, the technology and the cinematic value, the cinematic quality goes up. What I like about it is that each episode is standalone. But once something happens, it does become a part of that universe.
It does.
And so things could be referred back to and were referred back to, not only within the framework of those 3 seasons, but when the movies came. I asked you a while ago, had you seen Wrath of Khan? Wrath of Khan goes back to the original series episode called Space Seed. If you watch Space Seed, then you watch the Wrath of Khan, it makes a lot more sense. You understand what's going on. And then there's all kinds of other little things that are alluded to in the movies that if you watch the original series carefully and understood that universe, you went, oh, I know what that's talking about. Oh, I know who that's talking about.
Right.
And not only is that a fun thing
Yeah.
when you discover those, but it adds cohesion and continuity to the universe. And there's not these thorny problems typically that have to be explained away because, as you indicated, Roddenberry and company, they pretty much had a game plan and they stuck to the game plan.
Yeah.
And you know what else? When the original series was out and after it was already ended, because it was supposed to go 5 years, and it ended after 3 years. It ended because it just wasn't picking up steam. And then it became insanely popular in syndication in the 70s. And so that's where it really took off. But there were books like The Making of Star Trek that came out, The World of Star Trek, and then all of the episodes were put in paperback digest form. So you could actually not only see the episodes, but you could read the episodes, and they were done in much more detail. Then this cartoon, have you all ever seen the Star Trek, the original series cartoon that came out on Saturday mornings?
No.
They weren't.
That came out in the 70s. I remember watching them. And so it brought back the same characters, plus it added more aliens. And that really was part of, I think, the reigniting of the interest in Star Trek. Eventually, they came up with the Star Trek The Motion Picture, which was really, now you talk about a slow-moving thing. If you watch have you seen Star Trek?
No, I have not. Not
Okay,
the
Star Trek The Motion Picture. That's what it's called, the first one.
Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Watch it sometime.
So
you
slow.
will never think that the original Star Wars movie is slow-moving ever again.
Really?
After you watch that one.
So
Wait, how long is it?
it's like a couple.
Longer than it should be.
Longer than it should be, by the way. It is so
And
slow.
I don't like saying that about the series that I love, but the fact is that the way they used music, the way they did not use
It's 2.5
adequate amount of
hours.
background sounds and stuff, it just felt like it was moving slow. But when it came to The Wrath of Khan and The Voyage Home, some of the ensuing movies after that, those hit it out
phenomenal.
of the
They were
ballpark.
great.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Is it slower than the Batman?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What Batman?
Okay, the new Batman movie that came out called The Batman.
It was like 23.
With Robert Pattinson.
It was terrible.
It was awful. Don't watch it.
It was terrible.
By the way, we could talk about the Batman 1960s series.
Oh, we could
I
definitely.
think
That was
the
awesome.
best Batman is Adam West or what's his name?
Ward.
Who's
Burt Ward and
who's on? I'm thinking Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, yeah.
That's my favorite
No,
Batman. I love those
to
movies.
go back to what he was saying when they integrated the movies with the series,
Yeah.
it's like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh my gosh, I love
I don't
that
want to get off
show.
on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but so that you guys will understand what he's talking about. Remember when Avengers and all the Marvel movies
Yeah,
would come out? and
every
Agents of
single
S.H.I.E.L.D. would
season
tie
ties
in,
into
would
each
tie
movie.
into that, and then you would watch the episodes. It would further go into, and it stood alone, but it would also further go into the movies. And if you watch the movies, or you watch the show, then the movies the show would further explain things in the movies. You know what I'm saying? Like the cleanup of New York and all that other stuff. That's what the show and the movies do for each
Yeah.
other.
Okay.
so you're a Marvel guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
All you guys are?
Yeah, we
Oh,
like
yeah.
Marvel.
Did you ever see a comic book parody series called Not Brand X?
No.
ECHH. Oh, look it up sometime.
Okay.
It is Marvel's parody of their own stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
What?
Oh, when I look at it, it may be something because it sounds familiar, the parody, when you said parody, but I don't know if I've ever heard it
Oh
called
yeah,
Not Brand X.
you need to look it up. You would enjoy it.
Okay.
And like Superman, they would make fun of DC and stuff too.
Okay.
Yeah, Superman is super duper man and
I
stuff.
love making fun of DC.
Oh,
DC's good, like especially the Flash TV show.
I didn't-
That's a good
let's
show.
not get
My
off topic.
favorite
All
show.
right. So we've kind of explored. So let's do this before we close. So guys, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
A bit about the show. So the show is called The Lighthouse Sessions. We kind of just talk about whatever we feel like, but we do kind of...
Here's a great example. I'm going to use one of Dad's old lines. Have you ever seen Seinfeld?
I've seen
No.
Seinfeld.
You know how Seinfeld's a show about nothing?
Yes.
We're a show about literally anything and everything,
Yeah.
except for politics.
Like, yeah.
Well, sometimes.
Well, we talked a little bit about politics, but like when we do...
Actually, we talked about Hillary Clinton last episode.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
But we talked about politics once, but we got off it really fast.
All right. So then,
Explaining the movie 13 hours.
We always talk about it at a different time.
all right. So you guys, and right now, what's your guys' drop rate in the sense of how often does a new episode come out?
Slowly.
Yeah, it's probably about once every 2 weeks right now, but we're gonna start like picking up.
Yeah,
Probably gonna do about once a week.
We're going to try and get to once a week once
Yes.
the summer's over.
Once the summer's over, you guys got busy summer,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're gonna try and
Probably in like mid-September, we'll start dropping one
dropping
once
one
a
a week.
week.
Okay. All right. So
Funny
what
song
we'll
about
do
September.
for everybody,
I'm
if
going
you
to
wanna-
smack you.
if you
Hold
want to
up,
hear
put-
Joel and Aaron,
Put it up to
yes,
the
the Lighthouse Sessions.
we will put that link in our in the show description so that you can hear Joel and Aaron.
Yes,
What
but
about
Lighthouse Sessions.
You can also pin it in the comments, you know that?
yeah, you can.
Yeah, and I'll pin it.
You can
I'll
have a
pin it
pin.
in the
You can have a
comments
pinned
and-
comment for it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll pin it in the comments and I'll put it in the show description as well, so that there's multiple places that they can hear you two.
Yeah. We're on our mics weirdly.
Dad, you know how Connor does it in building the band? He's like over here like this.
He's like,
Oh, there we
Weirdo.
go. Okay, that's
Because
a
Connor
that's a
does not-
reference that no-
Connor does not rock.
Okay, just stop.
sorry.
All right. So, any final send-offs?
Yes,
Any
thank
comments?
you.
Listen.
Thanks for guesting us. Live long and prosper.
Okay. Joel, anything you want to send us off with?
No.
Okay. Man, a few words. Russell?
Well, I would like to remind everyone who's watching this podcast, and this applies to theirs as well.
Yeah.
If you would like these episodes, go back and watch the other ones if you haven't, and also subscribe to this podcast if you would, so that you don't miss future ones. We would appreciate it. It helps us. The logarithms will help advance our presence on the different platforms that we are on. And if you're a friend of the podcast, we respectfully ask that you do that. We'd love for you to.
Yeah.
As you can tell, you never know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
I will-
And make sure you tell your friends about it
Yeah,
as well.
and thank you, Rob.
Yeah, but-
And tell,
If you have
spread
any.
the word. Spread the word. Tell
Yeah, but subscribe to these guys. They're great. Hit the like button. Do that. Turn on notifications because these guys are great.
And also, what we want to do
Like
before
that Spanish
before we
button.
end the podcast, we have been very gracious to be able to partner. We've got a partner. We've got and that is Mountain Mowers LLC.
Lucky.
And that is a regional thing. So if you are in the Virginia area and the Galax surrounding area, give them a shout if you need lawnscaping. 276-730-8230. They are great. They will get you taken care of, and they will make sure that your lawn looks awesome. So give them a call. Let them scape your lawn. All right? We love them.
That's in
Oh,
the
yeah.
greater Galax area.
That's in the greater Galax area.
Galax
Oh,
local
yes.
business.
Somewhere else,
So if you're
it
in the,
might get expensive.
that's right.
Galax local
Small town
business.
living.
So
You San Antonio people.
we'll work on getting other partners and helping you guys out as well. So
Do you guys take questions? Like, do you have an email where your fans can send you questions?
yes, we do.
Cool.
And so if you have any questions, you can please comment. We'll answer them. We'll talk to you. And if you have questions you want to email us, you can do that at otopnow, otopnow@gmail.com. And we will see you on the next episode. Remember, you do not have to always be on topic. You can be off topic, but you must always be on point. All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you for listening today to Off Topic On Point. We want to remind you of our email address if you'd like to contact us. It's otopnow@gmail.com. That's otopnow@gmail.com. And as always, we want to leave you with this. It's okay to be off topic. Just make sure you're always on point. All right. We'll catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.